Hey everybody, this is Jannecke. Welcome from Wisdom from North and welcome to the third part of my ayahuasca series. So today I'm going to share my third experience and my third ceremony. And if you haven't watched the other videos, I highly recommend that you do so because they build upon each other and I talk more about ayahuasca and my perspectives on it and why I did it. It was a long journey. I researched it for 4 years before I did it and I felt it was the next part of my spiritual journey. And I just want to throw in again the caution, if you are curious about it, don't jump on the first best thing. Do your research. There's a lot of weird stuff out there, so please do really good research. Have some testimonials about the shaman you're going to work with because the shaman is really important that he's the real deal, because his work or her work is really important. They are the ones who are going to guide you through the experience, and the shaman I had was just amazing. Like, he was able to actually see what was happening to us, which is, I think, crucial and really important for them to understand where you're at and what support you need. All right, so that being said, I'm just going to jump right into my third experience. So I came back the second weekend all by myself. I didn't have anybody I knew at that time, friends or anything. So I just felt that I wanted to, there was something I needed to experience. It was just a hunch because I was actually done. So I drove back and I participated in the last ceremony in that retreat. And I tried to not have any expectations since I already had such an amazing second experience in my second ceremony. I was like, so what is going to happen now? I just felt like I was going to be there. So I was very curious and I knew now it was possible to have an experience. But again, I might not have an experience. So I tried to have an open mind. And we started as usual in the 8 in the evening, and there was so much love in the room. Even though I didn't know the people, I knew the shaman and I knew the teacher, so I felt safe and I just went into this loving space and loving state inside of myself, like really preparing myself to something divine to happen. And something divine really happened. Oh my goodness. Like sometimes when I've been thinking back on it, it's even bigger than I actually understood at that time. The knowledge I'm going to share with you was so profound that I almost haven't known what to do with it. It's just huge to me. So I went up and I had 2 cups. Like, this is just from my remembrance because the other experiences I was writing down. So I didn't write this down. I don't know why. So I think I had 2 fillings of the cup, and the cup is very small, of ayahuasca. And I laid down, I think this time, and I just started feeling really good. Like, I started going back to that body sensation again that I had in the third part of my second ceremony, that I felt really good in my body. But this time it accelerated. It was like this sexual vibe in my whole body. Like I was electrified. And it just got more and more intense. And then I started seeing these amazing imageries and sacred geometries. And that is very usual. It's very normal that you see some amazing, like, sacred patterns moving into each other, like stuff like you've never seen before. Really beautiful. It's like energy moving, this intelligent energy moving. But it was this electrical energy to it. And I started seeing more and more shapes. And I started having a feeling that this was a feminine energy. Like, it got really clear to me that you have something to do with the feminine energy. And as the experience evolved, it got clear to me somehow, I don't know how, but it got clear to me that I was actually tapping into the consciousness of Mother Earth, Gaia. And that's why I think I felt such a female energy. And also I felt a strong connection to the other females in the room. And whenever I would like woohoo or say something or express something, they would be like woohoo and hee. Like we would mimic each other's sounds, and I just felt this connection. And I spoke to one of the other girls afterwards, and she was, or the day after, and she was like, I was feeling the vibe, your vibe, and I was like connecting to you. I like got, she kind of tapped into my experience somehow. And that happens, like when you're in this experience, all of a sudden you can really tap into other people's consciousness. Like anything is possible. And then I saw these beautiful, beautiful patterns, and then it got more and more intense. It was like almost like an orchestra. I kind of felt it was music as well, music and sacred geometry, and this sexual energy that was moving very joyfully, very beautifully. And it was like building up and building up and building up. And I was basically lying there like totally electrified in my body, like vibrations all over my body. It felt really nice, really soft and feminine and good and exciting. I can't explain it. It just felt good. And then it built up. And then all of a sudden it just exploded. Like I watched it explode, these imagery, and it exploded into different parts in a way, into not things but something. I don't know what it was, but what came to me, because this was the interesting part. What came to me was a wisdom or a knowledge or an explanation of what I was seeing. And I gotta go back a bit, because my feeling was that this is so joyful. This is so joyful. This is Mother Gaia having so much fun, having so much pleasure and ecstasy and joy. And then when it exploded, I felt or heard that this is like a cosmic orgasm that Gaia is having. And out from this explosion or orgasm, I'm not sure if I can say it on YouTube, things are created. Like, like we create, like humans create, right? Mother Earth is creating in the same way. And the next part was that she loves it. It's so joyful for her. It's such a pleasure for her. And she's asking for nothing in return, because the process of creation is just pure bliss for her, pure joy. And the next thought that came to me was that all things, like this microphone, this camera, these lights, my Mac, like all physical things, even us, we are created through this ecstasy of pleasure and joy. All items, everything you can look at around you is made from this ecstasy and joy and pleasure and gratefulness and all the wonderful emotions you can imagine. And I was like, wow, like I haven't thought of creation in that way. I haven't thought that Mother Earth is birthing us. And that leads me over to the material I'm reading these days, the Law of One. Like this is channel material from the 80s, where they're actually teaching about the same things, that Mother Earth is now a fourth density being. She has a higher level of consciousness than we have, and we're coming from her. And she is now holding the space for us as humans to raise our frequency and move to the next level, so to say. She is first. And in the law of one material, they also speak about these loguses, like first, of course, it was love, light, or God, or the universe, or the all, or that thing we don't have a name for, creation. And then it started to physicalize into a galaxy that again gave birth to the stars and the sun and planets. And then the planets again gave birth to humans and plants and animals. So we're a result of her. And I haven't seen it that way. And that's why I come back to what I talked about in the second video, that do our bodies have its own consciousness? Because it's coming from Mother Earth. Like when our bodies die, it goes back to the soil, it becomes part of Mother Earth, which is a higher frequency than we have. And that it just blew me away. I've never looked at creation in that way. And yeah, I kind of don't know what to do with it. I'm just curious, and I'm very grateful that Mother Ayahuasca was showing me this, because this past year I've just changed my relationship to my body. I have a much more reverence towards it, respect towards it. I see creation in a different way. I notice that, and that I think often that, wow, all objects around me are now are made out of joy and pleasure and ecstasy and orgasm. Cosmic orgasm. Mother Earth's orgasm. Why not? Why not? Yeah. I am curious to hear what you think about it. I do believe that it's not the truth what I saw. I think it's one perspective, one way of seeing it. I think that, yes, there might be one big truth, but at the same time, there are many truths. And we all have different perspectives of the truth, because we're all parts of the big one. And that's why I'm so into the law of one material, and I'm going to focus on it more in my membership, and also perhaps make a YouTube video on it, because I just think it's so transformational and it makes so much sense. So guys, thank you so much for watching this series of plant medicine with me. This was a big deal for me. This was very life transformative. Like I said in the second video, I was a bit surprised that Mother Ayahuasca was not addressing like more personal or private issues. It was like the big questions that I got answers to, which kind of feels aligned, since I'm so curious about it, and since I'm so occupied in my profession, in my mind, in my emotional life about the big questions. So I think perhaps the next time, who knows, and I think there's going to be next time, perhaps she will address more of my private life. Who knows? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave some comments, and perhaps I can answer some of them. And I'd love to hear some of your experiences as well. All right, much light to you all, and I'll be back with another video soon, either a blog or an interview. Bye-bye.